For me, looking back at my ILPs throughout the year, at the beginning of the year, something that I really focused on was trying to reach, and throughout the year, was trying to reach as many students as I could, whether it be math, ELA, science, even social studies, but primarily focused on math and ELA. I really wanted to do my best to reach as many students as I could, and they were able to do the best that they can do. So for me, that was my long-term goal for this year was to try to reach as many students as possible. I felt for a strength for myself was connecting to the students, and I think that uh, Jennifer Schwank, my mentor, and um, master teachers that I've had, and even parents, and maybe even admin at my site would agree that that is one of my strengths, communication with parents, realizing that it is a partnership between me and my parents was very important to me. So for me, as a long-term goal, communicating with parents, which was a good way to reach all of them and get the best out of them as possible. For me, stepping it to another direction, a professional goal that I have, well, for this year, it was different than last year. Last year was trying to get through day by day planning. This year was more weekly planning, and I think that looking back, I did a pretty good job of being prepared week by week. So for next year, I am starting right now to prepare for the beginning of school, even back to school night. So what I'm hoping to do is plan monthly, and I'm doing that with assessment days and grade level planning days with my colleagues. So I think that by having that professional goal, it'll take the stress off of me, and it'll help me not only connect with my students but have manage my time a little bit better is really important to me. I also want to be more, I think as the years go by, I want to be more vocal with possibly the union. I've been asked to be a union rep for Livornia. I'm not ready for that because I'm not tenured and I'm still probationary. But as I, go on in my professional career, I think that that's something that I really would be interested in because I think that unions are really important, not only for us, obviously, but just as a whole in society. It's super important to have that. So I'd love to be engaged in TVEA, even being, the site aspect would be really cool. I really want to try to do student council. I'm in garden club this year, but I couldn't do student council. I was asked and I started it, but it was just too much for me. So something like that would, by managing my time a little bit better, would allow me to have more time for things like student council assistance with with others at my site, and even the garden club, which I loved very much, and being a union rep would be cool, but that's later on, of course. But those are huge professional goals for me. Planning monthly is really really important. uh, I didn't go in that much this week or this year for weekends, but I felt like that was through planning a little bit better, using my prep time, and managing it a little bit better. So for me, I think by planning now for next year, volunteer work, having my students help me a little bit to get me started, will allow me to start the year. Even though I started it pretty well this year, it's just a little bit more experience that will prepare me to be even more successful next year than this year and even the year before. So I think for me, it says, what actions can you take to remain a connected educator throughout my career? I love Class Dojo. I tell my parents all the time, Dojo me. I have my phone with me all the time. I will do my best to get back to them. And I think that this year, a lot of my parents would agree with that. If they haven't had a question or a concern, whether it be about their child or somebody else or their grade or whatever the case may be. I think that whether it be email or dojo, they understood that I could be reached, even weekends as well. So I think for me, just to have access for them to have access to me is was really important because I look at it as if I were a parent, well, I am a parent, but if I were them, I would, and I was concerned or whatever the case may be, that my child's teacher could be reached. So I kind of look at it from their perspective, which is really important to me. A lot of teachers maybe have been working in the profession for so long and they just kind of tune out. So I think for me, as I get older, I realize both sides. And so it's very important to me that I relate to both sides. So I really want to make that a goal for myself as the years go by, that they can reach me no matter what. But this whole journey for me, even though it's 2 years crammed into one, have been amazing. I've learned a lot about myself. I've asked Jennifer Schwank a jillion questions via text, email, you name it. And I think I've just matured as an educator, and I'm very fortunate to have the opportunity to learn through other teachers and other educators that have a lot more experience than me and can help me manage my way through certain situations that come up. So that goes in with, grading, Infinite Campus, situations that come up during the day about situations with students and how, what's the best way to handle certain situations that I think I might know, but I'm not quite 100% sure and I want to double check. So um, I think for that, it's been an amazing experience that I look back and it's been quite amazing. So thank you very much. One thing that I One thing that I wanted to add was that I think looking back, new teachers coming into the profession, advice that I would give is drink a lot of caffeine and uh, take a deep breath and enjoy the ride because every day something is thrown at you and you just have to take a deep breath and have patience and always hear both sides of the story because you never know what um, what kids say and it's always good to hear both sides. But definitely talk to other colleagues that have more experience. Don't ever come across like you know a lot because people really look up to younger teachers that ask for advice. And last but not least, Jennifer Schwank, I remember one thing she did tell me that was one of my strengths was actually what I talked about earlier, was about how I relate to my students. And it's really important to me that every single day they come to school excited and ready to not only learn but have fun. And immediately she told me immediately she can see that I was relatable to the kids, which made them very comfortable to talk to me, whether it be about a subject or something that happened at home or even something that just happened on the playground that bothered them and they wanted to talk to me about the situation. So I really took that to heart and so I really appreciate that.